Oh, hello, and welcome to Dente, Rigamortis. I'm Review Cultist.
I'm Mikey, the E stands for evil.
And I'm the gamer in Yelp.
And we're here to discuss those internet stories, most creepy and most pasta, and be critically silly doing it. Tonight we have Spyro.exe.
Yep.
So, a little bit of backstory for this one. We got an email a while back from a listener, and they want us to do 3 stories. Now, I was unable to find 2 of the 3 stories.
But the one you found was a gem.
Yeah, oh yes. And on creepypasta, on Reddit/creepypasta, no less. So, remember last time we went on Reddit creepypasta and found a suicide note?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, if anybody out there can point us in the direction of a Spyro is real creepypasta, or a Fortnite creepypasta called The Donator, let us know. And leave a link, please. Because I barely found this one. So Spyro.exe, like I said, it's on Reddit creepypasta. And it's by _gnarlytreesnecks_5. And I'm pretty sure it's a parody pasta. Or like a troll pasta. In fact, at least I hope so. But we're going to go into the rundown. Also, do we really need to do a rundown? We basically I think most of all 3 of us rewrote the story. So we're going to be getting into each part of the story. But should I do a rundown now? I have a small jot form version.
Might as well.
All right. So Nair gets and plays a copy of Legend of Spyro: A New Beginning with his girlfriend. They get scared and spooked, as it is not the normal game, with bloody title screens, jump scares, and the like. It's also now called Spyro.exe. He goes home and investigates the whole matter on a dark forum. Eventually emailing a hacker man he apparently knows.
Who later goes on to star in
Code Fury.
Yes, of course.
Telling him the previous events. Hackerman explains that the game is a prophesized cursed evil, and that Hackerman was the first victim of it. He also states that his brother helped play the negative levels of the game back in the day, and they got really scared and gave it away, where it eventually made it to Nair. Nair doesn't reply, but instead goes and beats Cinder, a character in the game, and discovers the truth behind Spyro.exe. Turns out, the ghost of the original creator/victim of the game, who suffered depression and killed themselves after the game launched, was trapped in the game. After beating Cinder, the ghost proceeded to blow up the console, and and his soul was released. Finn.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
All right, we don't have to do the rest of it. All right, cool. Beep, beep.
Nah, don't get back here.
All right. So, on to everyone tolerates the grammar inquisitions, and also actual thoughts, because this is the closest we will ever come, I believe, to reading a creepypasta on the show in almost its entirety, because I have to quote most of the story so I could rewrite most of the story to make it coherent.
Yeah. Let's put all of my rewritings together into an actual story.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so I'll just kind of go into this then. Start with this. Warning: the creepypasta is based off the Spyro the Dragon series, and more specificity Spyro: A New Beginning. So, if you don't want your childhood ruined, I advise you stay away. A couple things. Specificity, you mean specifically.
Mm-hmm.
And childhood is actually just one word, where in this one it's 2 words.
Or it could be the childhood, you know.
The childhood, yeah. The neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
Very true, yeah.
Yeah,
You know what?
why
You know
not?
what? Yeah, you know what? Yeah, exactly.
That's exactly what it is.
Moving right along.
Definitely.
Also, throughout this entire pasta, it should in fact be The Legend of Spyro: A New Beginning.
You could shorten that to Spyro. If
Or
you say,
LOS, A New Beginning. Or A New Beginning. But, like...
dude, if you call me and be like, what's up? And I'm like, you don't normally say that, but hi, I'm playing Spyro: A New Beginning. You will know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, usually I'm just like, what's up? What up? Yeah, no.
It could be short.
I guess. I just like, it irked me the entire time. It's like, that's like, used either the full name or like, yeah, I don't know.
But it's kind of said in a manner like it might as well be dialogue.
Yeah, it really does feel like a lot like dialogue.
Yeah,
so we don't have to do this, right? Because it's the way the character writes.
No.
It's the way the character talks.
No. Yeah.
All right.
It's like if I'm playing
I know.
The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, I would either say Zelda Ocarina of Time or just Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, I guess.
It's all right. That's like the
Or
one
oot.
thing. Or oot, yes,
Yeah,
of
we
course.
could have had LOS, ABN.
I don't think that's an actual thing.
Damn it. All right.
Yeah.
So moving on to the next one. I met up with my girlfriend to play some Spyro: A New Beginning. The title screen was cool, some blood, a jump scare here and there, but all this was a title screen exclusive. You should end the first sentence at the beginning and start a new one. Oh, sorry, at beginning, like
I figured you meant
rather
that.
than have a comma there.
Yeah.
Because they're two completely different things that are going on.
Yep.
Also, there should be a with after the cool. Also, might be jumping the gun, but why bloody title screen? There's no lead into this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to take it further, I actually watched a video of the title screen for Legend of Spyro: New Beginning. It's basically an egg floating on a river, and it's yellowish, or no, orangish. So the water could be mistaken for lava.
Okay.
Instead of
yeah,
water.
It's like
Which makes sense
water
because
in a
dragon-
sunset situation.
because it makes sense if it was lava, because dragons, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Dragons generally have an immunity to lava.
Yeah, but the problem is that there would be no blood because Spyro is an E-rated game.
Yes, but I mean, like,
This is a
that
haunted
should've-
version.
Yeah, exactly. We are going on the haunted cursed version, which has hyper realism and graphic blood and gore that should not exist in the assets, but they
That's
do.
the whole point.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, so there was nothing that screamed this was blood or would be
Well, yeah,
or
but I
would
mean-
yeah, blood.
Yeah, but except like
They said
they
blood.
specifically say like I feel, and we'll get into this farther. I think I when I corrected some of the when I did some like revisions of the next couple of things, I say like you should like go into like this is unexpected. This is kind of weird. Why is this happening?
Yeah, that's my problem. That's my note on that sentence. Because each one's a sentence. Essentially, like, my problem is, like, why are you glossing over the creep?
Yeah,
Like, if the character doesn't care about it, why should I?
exactly. Yeah, especially in this instance.
Yeah, this shouldn't be normal, but he acts like it is.
Yeah. All right. Moving on to the next one. All right. So it was our time to press new game, but alas, when we pressed A, it went crazy. But all I saw in my mind was these two words in one when. Oh, was these two words in one when new game was pressed called Spyro.exe. Oh boy. Get rid of the alright so and kill the S on the first on that first it. Alternatively, no, you know what? I'm just going to restructure this whole thing. All right. It's finally our time to press new game. Alas, when we pressed A on the controller, the screen went crazy and I suddenly saw in my mind a new title, Spyro.exe. better?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The way I rewrote it is...
remember, yeah.
All right, I kept the all right because it's the way characters talk. I have a funny joke. All right, so it was our time to press new game, but alas, when we pressed A, it went crazy. All I could see in the crazy mess of a TV screen was one thing: Spyro.exe until the game loaded.
That would work, yeah.
Because like the thing that confused me is like he's saying it in his mind.
Yeah.
Is it not actually on the TV
No,
then?
that's what I was trying to think. So that's why okay, I'm gonna go along with it since this is what the author is like going with. But like, then you need to like structure that better. Like, and that's
throughout the rest of it. There's nothing mindfuckery. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's no like weird there's no weird stuff outside of like that.
Yeah.
So, all right, and then moving on to the next one. It started off fine with a red dragon of some sort saying while crying a realistic cry and saying something backwards like this. Tluf yim sa tu?
Which is a capital I. It's capital I. It's not a...
Oh, yeah, tie, yeah, T. Yeah, tie, yeah. Sorry. Tluf yim sa tai?
Yes.
So my restructuring is... After that, it started off fine, though there was a red dragon of some sort saying something backwards like this. Tluf yim sa tai. The dragon did this while crying a realistic cry. Also, a realistic cry? From a dragon? Like, I'm guessing it means like a realistic as in like a person, like the person's like actually crying while doing it or something? Or like it's like, I don't know, like what... Realistic cry?
Well,
it doesn't. They're not cartoony drops. Or it's not animating. It's not animating out. It's like realistically, if a dragon was crying.
Yeah, it's authentic dragon tears.
Yeah. Yes, clear, yes. The authentic, realistic tears coming from a fictional, fantastical beast.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that toy that was around, I think, a couple Christmases ago, with authentic unicorn noises.
Yes.
Sure they are.
I imagine the sound booth for that, or like the sound guy, was just like, we're going to make this authentic. Just goes to a horse. And just plops a horn on the, like a stick-me-on horn onto the...
No, a freaking ice cream cone.
Yeah, exactly, yes.
Yeah, there
it's a unicorn.
Close enough, right? Fuck it.
Yeah, do you guys have anything else to say about this?
Yeah.
Okay,
cool.
Sorry, yeah, guys, this is going to be basically one long-winded grammar position with like our actual thoughts kind of added in. We're sorry.
Yeah. Anyway, so my problem here is wait, is it this one or that one? Realistic cry. This one. Okay, so. My problem here is any possible revelation that the reader could have in regards to the backward speak is immediately ruined from the get-go because the I is capitalized and it straight up says it's backwards. So in the future, if there's anything later on where it's like, oh wait, what does the backward speech mean? And you have to like go back through it, that quote-unquote fun is ruined right from the get-go because it says it's backwards.
Yeah.
Also, I checked the actual intro. There's no subtitles.
Yeah.
So, the reader, or sorry, the player, Nair, would not have actually heard it that way. Mm-hmm. Because the way you hear backwards speech and the way that you would write a word backwards is completely different.
Yep.
So, these words would come through completely different. Backwards of "it was my fault," which is what that is.
Yes.
It doesn't come out as "tulaf yim sati." It comes out as, "tuluaf yim sati." It comes out as "to lof I'm Oz te."
Okay.
Because if you actually, at least that's as closest I could get it. So if he heard that, you wouldn't be able to tell that that's backwards speech.
Yeah.
But he can immediately tell.
Did you go on Audacity and like, it was me, and then like reverse your...
No.
Oh, that's basically how you do it.
Yes.
No. He had one of those recording devices from the 90s that you could record your voice for like 20 seconds and then tell it to reverse.
Yeah.
Or I just went it, and went it.
Well, and like you said, like some things are different when they're backwards. Like, let's in Halo, the warp from the elites is just Johnson's go go go, except like reversed and lowered the pitch.
Yep.
That's all it is.
Mm-hmm.
You've learned something today, audience.
That's why Saw, was backwards is not Saw, it's Oz.
Yeah.
At least the closest I can get it.
Yeah. Because phonetically, it's backwards.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
And then on to the visuals. Because I looked up the actual game intro. And I believe that, at least for part of this creepypasta, it is using the actual intro to the game. So in the actual game, Red Dragon goes up to a dragon egg in a building. The building starts shaking. A gold and purple dragon shows up telling him to save them. The Dark Armies have come. Then the Red Dragon takes the egg and leaves. So I'm assuming that this is the same cinematic that's playing because at the start he says everything was normal or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And also when he said yeah, at the end of that. Oh, sorry. My quote was actually 2 sentences because the next sentence is, and he was so. Or wait, and so he was told to get out while crying blood with his slowly decaying living corpse, and corpses spelled with the wrong
actually,
corpse.
it's not corpse. It's corp, as in like corporation, because that's totally how you say that.
It's meant to be. Corpse,
I know.
Actual
I'm actually
corpse.
about to read. I was about to read that entire thing right now. So.
I forgot that was. I put 2 sentences in that one because they're the same damn thing.
Gotcha.
Just moving on.
But yeah, so, and like I'm going to just repeat this.
Yeah.
And so he was told to get out while crying blood with his slowly decaying living corpse. So he dropped the bloody dragon egg off at an island. Yeah, off at an island. All the note said was Mefo Iraq Ikat, which I guess is take care of him. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was sorry. I was like manually like editing that or like reversing that.
Yeah, you never actually read it the first time.
And my restructuring is he was told to get out while crying blood with his slowly decaying living corpse and to drop this bloody dragon egg off at an island.
This bloody egg, I freaking hate it.
Also, my other thing is put quotes around the note phrase because it's just like you've done it already you did it for the backward speech in the previous sentence, and you might as well do it like each time.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else to say about that one, or good?
Well, this one, the backward speech is actually correct because it's not being said; it's being read.
Yeah.
So if in this world of the video game they have to write everything and say everything backwards, that is how it would be.
Yeah. Yeah, they speak backwardese.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much. All of my rewritings, I put a lot more flavor into it. Like I make it unnecessarily long.
Yeah, I was just like, I'm just gonna try and get through this, like to make it as like readable as possible.
Yeah. Like I sort of found out the dragon's name. I went, Ignatius picks up the egg as normal, flying out of the cave. But from this point, the intro is completely different. He carries the egg off to an island to drop it off, his bleeding tears and rotting flesh falling onto the egg while he places a note next to it. The note read, Meh.
Very nice.
Yeah, I did it.
All right, moving on.
Because that actually is where it changes, because in the actual game,
yeah,
he puts him on like a mushroom in a river, and like sends him downriver.
Wow, you guys went into like way more detail, and like you actually like.
I'm
the game.
the what in yellow? The what?
The gamer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, you're welcome. We're doing a gaming creepypasta.
Fuck you. It's
terrible. Mikey, do you have anything to add so far?
No, you're doing a pretty good job.
Cool. All right, moving on to the next one. Then a bloody screen showed up saying 1 level, which meant level 1. And then it switched to a black screen, and we sat there hugging each other in fear, and after about 20 minutes of that black screen, the game crashed. But about 4 seconds later, it switched back onto revile.
Yeah, revile.
Onto revile. Spyro has hatched and managed to hatch with half of his head blown off. Jesus. Okay. Restructuring time. A bloody screen appeared saying 1 level. Or, no, fuck it. A bloody screen appeared saying level 1.
It's backwards.
I guess.
Level backwards is level.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, right? Isn't that neat?
Mind blown.
Yeah.
Alright, anyways.
Although technically the last L should be capitalized.
And it should be quoted then?
Yeah, totally.
Because not dialogue, but it's like something I mentioned from the show. Anyway,
This is pain.
so then a bloody screen showed up saying 1 level, which must have meant level 1, and then it switched to black. Oh, wait, I'm reading. Wow, I was
Reading it again.
reading now.
Are you saying it's flawless? Is that what you're saying?
No.
Completely
You want me to take over?
No, I got this. A bloody screen appeared saying 1 level. It quickly switched to a black screen for about 20 minutes. My girlfriend and I sat there, hugging each other, strangely gripped in fear. The game had crashed, I realized, and I was mustering up the courage to turn off the console when it switched back on to reveal Spyro. He had hatched, managing to crawl out of his shell with half of his head blown off.
You did catch something?
I didn't.
Let me just reread this and see if you catch it. I'll reread my structured one so I can do it all at once.
Yeah.
The scene cut to a bloodied screen, simply saying 1 level. Were all the previous words in reverse? It's essentially him asking, trying to bring it together. The screen switched to black, the disc in the drive spinning up to a loud whir. Confused and scared, we sat there hugging each other in fear for a few minutes, on edge, wondering if the game will jump scare us again, show us more messed up imagery, or load like a normal game. As soon as I got up to reset the console, some distorted cracking sounds came to the TV. A few seconds later, the screen switched back on, revealing Spyro hatched from an egg with half his head blown off.
Yeah, see, my restructuring is just to make it fucking readable.
Yeah.
I'm not correcting the I'm not correcting the person.
I'm making it good.
Yeah, you're making it gooder.
Yeah.
I make stuff good.
I make it readable, you make it gooder.
Thank you.
Yeah.
God.
I put too much effort into this.
We all did. We all spent way too much time on this 2-page fucking creepypasta
That's probably a joke. That's the thing.
that I pray is a troll pasta or an intended crappy pasta. If not, I am sorry, author, but you need editing.
Well, there's one thing that you missed from the get-go.
What?
Wall of text. There's no formatting at all in the entire thing.
There really isn't. No,
It's just a block.
Well, no, there's small text, big text, smaller text.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, it's weird.
But yeah, the thing that I comment on is the 20 minutes of black screen.
You cannot say scared for 20 minutes staring at a black screen.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No. Unless he's really hugging his girlfriend. It's like, I'm so scared, hold me.
He's just using it as an excuse.
Yeah.
Really? Hell yeah.
Also, like we said, it's reveal Spyro, not revile or REVIE.
Reveal.
Yeah, reveal or reveal.
Reveal.
Yeah. So move on to the next sentence.
It's the first in this, isn't it?
Hmm?
That's the first in this show. Moving on to the next sentence.
Yes, exactly. So we thought, oh God, no, the legend is true. Play the version of Spyro: A New Beginning, or buy it, and you suffer the curse. So we beat about 3 levels, and I said I had to go home.
Yeah. Oh no! Let's play the game.
So add some. Yeah, it's like no. I don't care. And it's from Vader Zim, where Dib is just something he said, the guy says, I was like, no! And he just grabs his blanket and just I don't care. I'm just going to bed.
It's immediately when anything is creepy is put up, the characters immediately disregard it.
Yeah. So, add some quotations around the thoughts. Also, really? Simply buying a copy of LOS, A New Beginning, is enough to cause the curse. I didn't think Spyro games had ever achieved Sonic 06 levels of apocalyptic, like, trash. Like, I thought they were actually pretty good games. I didn't realize, like, just simply buying a single version of one game would cause, like, an apocalyptic curse or, like some dread curse on you. Like,
Here's the thing. That first sentence you read has no bearing on the entire story.
it really doesn't.
Because it's saying, like, what it's essentially saying is
Play a version of Spyro, A New Beginning,
It's
or buy
no,
it.
the version it's talking about is the haunted one. So it's
Yeah.
saying, like, play the haunted version or buy it, and if you buy it, you suffer the curse. But if you play it, you're fine. But if you own it, you get the curse.
But no,
I think.
I think it's literally like play any version of this game of Spyro,
Or buy it.
yeah, or buy it, as in like, or buy a version of Spyro. Like, even if you buy it, if you're not like lending it from a friend or something like that. I don't know, like that's kind of what I got off of it. Was like it's just like I kind of took it at face value. It's just like
My grammar of that one is just remove entirely for that first sentence.
yes, yeah.
It doesn't do anything.
The problem,
To which there are many.
yes, is that in order to get this specific version, you have to get the EXE version, which means it runs on a PC.
No, not
It's
necessarily.
called Sonic EXE.
No,
Spyro.
Sorry.
it's fine. Spyro.exe was clearly pulled, or was basically drew inspiration for their story by Sonic.exe.
But yeah, the game is called that, but it runs on a console.
Yeah. It's a hack.
Are you sure?
He said it's console.
Literally on a console. Yeah.
Sorry.
I fail at life. Good day, sir.
Wow.
It's a whole, like, again, like, .exe, yes, it would make more sense if it was a goddamn emulator or a ROM, but the fact of the matter is, the story is a haunted video game cartridge, not a haunted emulator.
Like, I can make an indie game called GamerInYellow.exe and put it on Xbox Live Marketplace.
Yeah, you can do it, yeah, exactly, like that,
it's just a title.
It may not last very long.
Yeah, so you have to buy a game with the title Spyro.exe.
I'm saying that's the title.
Yeah.
Like, that's not actually the entire file's title, like, name with extension.
The point, like I said, like, because in true like video game creepypasta fashion, this game was purchased at a game store, I assume, because it mentioned that they go to a clerk and stuff like that. But for some reason, supernaturally or otherwise, well, actually, yeah, very supernatural, because we find out what the truth is behind it. Mm-hmm. The spirit has corrupted the game into being a Spyro.exe on the game on the game disc. It was like either some weird burned version, or the spirit is just possessing the CD itself and has corrupted it into this other game. It's like
version. A singular thing.
Exactly, yeah.
It's not all Spyro A New Beginning.
Yeah.
And the second part of what you said, so we beat the 3 levels and then have to go home. So, I'm in it saying that, I'm assuming the rest of the game for the first 3 levels, everything is fine, it just Spyro's a chunk out of his head.
Yeah.
Nothing bad happens.
I guess.
Yep.
That's so spooky.
Yeah, I know.
I'm so spooked.
He's like, I gotta go home, bye. leave with the disc.
No, it's his, I believe.
Oh, he did bring it home? Okay.
He doesn't say
He doesn't say it!
Yeah, but here's the thing. At home, he plays it.
I know he does,
So
yeah.
he had to have brought the system.
Yeah. But, like, up until this point, like, up until, like, we get to that point, I thought that he, like, literally left it with his girlfriend.
Yes. That's what it
And
seemed
it's
like.
Oh, so you're just gonna, like, wow, you're a douche. Like, you're just gonna leave your girlfriend with, like, this evil haunted game? Dickhead?
Yeah, it's assumed he brought it home. In my rewrite, I picked up the controller and carefully started playing. Aside from the chunk out of Spyro's head, however, the game ran fine. We played about 3 levels, and by the end of level 3, almost forgetting about the weird stuff that I encountered to get here. By then, it was getting late, and I had to go home. I shut the game off, packed up my system, and all seemed well.
Bam. There. How hard is that? How long did that take you?
A couple minutes.
Exactly. Alright. Moving on to the next one.
Yep.
Next thing I did was go on Dark Spyro forums.
Yeah.
In the stuff and nonsense section, there was a topic by user Utster13 saying that a haunted version of Spyro: A New Beginning would lead to a 15-year-old commuted. I gotta redo that entire fucking thing. Sorry, hang on. Next thing I did was go on the Dark Spyro forums, in which In the Stuff and Nonsense section, there was a topic by user Utster13 saying that a haunted version of Spyro: A New Beginning would lead to a 15-year-old commuted suicide because of this. Run-on sentences are the least of that sentence's concerns. Jesus. I went on to the Dark Spyro forum. Oh, and this is my restructuring. I went onto the Dark Spyro forums and browsed the stuff and nonsense in quotes section. Here, I found a topic by user Utster13 saying that a haunted version of LOS: A New Beginning had led to a 15-year-old to commit suicide, because it's definitely not commute suicide.
Well, he might have commuted to his new job, and in doing so, he committed suicide because I was like, I'm not going to work. And he's also 15 years old, so he doesn't have his driver's license.
And he shouldn't have a job.
He saw a cop car, and he was like, they're not taking me. Just
yes, clearly. I like that.
This is like Grand Theft Auto.
Jeez. But yeah. Gamer, do you have anything to add?
I have like actual notes on it, but
might as well. That's kind of what this thing is. Also, sorry, my one thing is Dark Spyro forums, because of course it is,
dude. It's an actual thing.
Are you? Wait, what?
I went.
Sorry,
I went on the Dark Spyro forums.
Oh my god!
It's nothing dark at all. It's just a Spyro forum. And there is a stuff and nonsense section. But there was 595 pages. I did not want to try to find it.
You get it in the search engine.
I tried. It didn't work.
Okay. Honestly, wow. I just assumed it was like the dark web, but kind of like...
No.
It was like, okay,
it's an actual thing.
The Dark Spyro forums. All right, that's a thing I learned today.
Yep.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. Mm-hmm. You're playing Spyro again.
Yes. But yeah, I had problems with that. Like, essentially, it's saying, once I got home, I thought it was time to take the investigation further. He hasn't been investigating anything yet.
Yeah.
This is the start of the investigation.
That's why I removed that.
Yeah. And also, like, the first forum site he found has it. That, like, what are the odds?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
And also, yeah, Dark Spyro forums are a thing and not creepy.
That's kind of interesting. I kind of like okay, that kind of like, oh, wow, that's all right.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. And, hang on, where am I in the grammar? There it is. My quick rewrite, I'll gloss over it. Essentially, just, instead of going, like, I went specifically to the Dark Spyro forums and this section and I found it, just switch it to, like, I did some searches on haunted Spyro games and it brought me to the Dark Spyro web and
that worked.
Forum thing and we did that.
Okay,
so it doesn't seem like he's just like that lucky.
I did this, then I went here, and like it's not like a step-by-step that's kind of annoying, like, or kind of bland. You actually gave it some more flavor.
Well, it's the problem that it's a step-by-step that's so specific. It's like, I thought I should start the investigation. I went to this forum. I went to this section, and I found it.
Yeah.
Like, that quick.
Yeah.
You would start by searching.
Exactly.
Like, what are the odds of you getting the right forum in the right section
like,
right from the get-go?
Like, if this is actually being we're taking this kind of serious. Because,
as usual, we take things way more seriously.
We're being critically silly here.
Yeah.
We're being critical to the silly extent.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, you want to add a little bit more flair, like a little bit more like tension to your sentences when you're doing an investigation. You want to build up some mystery.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you do like a search. Like it's why like Sherlock Holmes doesn't like just like automatically go and like it's Moriarty. There we go, found it.
Yeah,
he's the professor. The killer's been, or the guy behind everything leaves an M as his trademark. Well, Moriarty is a professor at the University of England, and there, bam, done. I'm so sorry to Sherlock fans that I botched that up, probably, but whatever. Yeah, or yeah, it's just. All right, so moving on to the next one, or if you guys are good.
Yeah, cool. I am at least.
All right, so I checked out YouTube. All right, so I checked YouTube, and the main page was filled with stuff about the game. So remove the "alright so" again, just because I'm getting tired. I know it's possibly dialogue, but like you're writing a fucking story on a Reddit on a Reddit creepypasta site. All right, it's not dialogue unless it's stated. It's not dialogue. Yeah. Also, your entire main page of YouTube. Oh no, you went on the. Yeah, All right, so I checked YouTube, and the main page was filled with stuff about the game, as in like the YouTube.
Everything
like,
that YouTube is, everything that is YouTube is suggesting that he watches is stuff in regards to Haunted Spyro.
See, I think he meant, or what it should have been was, I checked out Upster 13's YouTube channel. No, just okay.
This isn't to do with him.
Okay,
he found out about the thing through the forums, and then went on YouTube to find out more. And as soon as he got to YouTube, his entire front page is filled with.
I wonder if it's like all like videos of like this 15-year-old that committed suicide.
Just about the game, about the haunted game in general. I don't know. It doesn't say.
Very little is given here.
Well, what we have here is
a failure to communicate.
No, it's Google over-tracking.
Yeah.
So he's done so many searches for Spyro that because it's linked in with YouTube, that as soon as he goes to YouTube, it's like, well, you've searched Spyro, clearly you want Spyro.
Thank you, you useless YouTube algorithm.
I thought it was going to be something supernatural, because he searched it, and he has the disc, and his console's hooked up to the internet. It's like, oh, you're searching for me on the internet? I'm now infecting your computer. Now when you go on YouTube, all you can look up is stuff about me.
It's more terrifying than supernatural. It is the YouTube algorithm. Which, ask any number of content creators and people that use YouTube on a regular basis, the algorithm is scarier than anything supernatural. Alright. Stuff like a Spyro game has been traded for the past 34 years, and whoever plays it suffers the curse. 34 years? The game franchise hasn't been out for 24 years.
It was
the first game launched in 1998, so 21 years ago.
Yep.
But go on, and continue adding more age to the game than it already is.
Well, the thing is, that is fine because it's stuff like a Spyro game. It's not saying that it is a Spyro game.
What?
Wait, so you're saying that it's technically a loophole because other haunted games have been out there since longer than that? It's
fuck you, Mikey. Fuck you.
Are you saying that this game alludes to a greater horror video games cinematic universe?
Yes.
Motherfucker. You are evil.
What a revelation! God damn it. Yeah, you're right.
Oh my god, I hate that so much.
I'm going to end you. You'll be slow.
But it gets better later on. Trust me, it does get better later on. So anyways, moving on.
Explain that.
Yeah, anyway, moving on to the next one. About after a week of studying the game, by playing through it, I realized that something was wrong. So, and my correction to that one is my restructuring is just, after about a week of studying the game, playing through it with my girlfriend, I realized that something was wrong. So I just wanted to add the girlfriend back in because, otherwise she was just a one-note pony in the story.
Yep. Only there for cuddles.
Yeah, basically.
I mean, if that's her character design, then that's the way it is.
I don't know, I just felt like she could be added. She could have kept, stayed in, Also, at this point, I hadn't realized that he'd just taken his console and gone home.
Yeah.
So I thought it was still at her place.
Yeah, fair.
Is there anything else for this sentence, or can I move on to the next one?
Well, yeah, I have one little thing. It says, so the quote, as you said, is, about after a week of studying the game by playing it through, this is the quote, right?
Yeah.
I'm not jumping ahead. About a week after studying the game by playing it through, I realized that something was wrong. So it took you a week of study.
Yeah.
And completing the entire game to figuring out that something's wrong?
Yeah.
I thought you figured out something was wrong when he turned it on.
Day one. Yeah, from moment one, basically.
From Jump Street.
Unless it's the first Spyro game he's ever played, so he doesn't know what to expect. Thus, he thinks nothing is wrong.
Maybe this is just how Spyro games are. It's the way the game plays.
This is just this is in the other network.
Yeah.
in a different,
Yeah.
in a different dimension.
Exactly. Wait, do not besmirch the shorter stories with this.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't. I apologize. I will go to confession for that.
You better.
Yeah.
All praise Cthulhu.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Anyway. All right. Now that I've beat the game, it's best to send it by email to someone.
You go ahead and do that.
What? Who are you emailing? And why now? What? Why? Like, I don't even.
You can't email.
I can't.
You can't email a physical disc.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. And even if you could, a game of that era is like 2 to 3 gigs.
Yeah.
And what's the max size for email?
10 megabytes.
Well, although if it was a 34-year-old file, it might only be a few megabytes.
But it's a full game. A modern game of the time.
Yeah.
Also, are you saying that a soul is not under 10 megabytes of memory? That's pretty. I don't know. Like, Cthulhu eats a lot of souls, so
It's magic. It doesn't take memory.
And then the email to hackerman@.com. Oh shit! The Kung Fury spinoff. No one wants.
I mean, yeah.
I was just like, holy, what the fuck, Hackerman?
It is weird.
Yeah.
Also, something about the previous sentence that everyone seemed to gloss over.
Mm-hmm.
A question that you should be asking in regards to it's best to email it to someone. Why?
Maybe it's like one of those all right, now that once you beat the game, you have to send it to somebody so the curse continues on there.
Then tell me the story.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
It's like he just came to the conclusion. It's like, this is fucked up and making me really depressed and weird. I'm going to send it to someone else to put my pain on someone else as well.
Exactly. Like it's
Instead of just taking a hammer to it.
It's just bad writing. Is really what it is.
Anyways, moving on.
Yes. So this is the email that he sends Hackerman.
Oh, yeah.
Hey man, so I'm assuming you've heard of that Spyro game, the haunted one that's taking over the internet. The one where the title screen is all blood and the backwards text, and the one where Spyro hatches out of his egg, almost murdered. All right, man, talk in the morning. Somehow, the most coherent verse in the story, and that's saying, and even then, yeah. Also, I guess this does actually hint that the Spyro game is kind of gaining influence. I didn't really clue in that it was the YouTube channel or the YouTube page had gotten all that. So I guess it is kind of taking over. Also, is that Wreck-It Ralph Breaks the Internet, where it's
as soon as he gets it, then it takes over.
Yeah,
yeah, it's weird. Oh
god, you know what this is? This reminded me of that haunted Skyrim game we played, or no, we played. We read. What the hell was it called?
Are you sure it wasn't Oblivion?
No, it was Skyrim.
I don't know of it then.
Yeah.
It also doesn't give us any more details in this email. It's just, remember that opening sequence that I played for this game, even though I've played the 12 plus hours to actually beat the game?
Here's my problem with this freaking email. Why? Here's another... Okay, I'm going to answer it really quickly again. Or ask a question.
Skyrim Secret and Skyrim Secret 2.
Ooh, a sequel. You know it must be good.
No.
Either way, my problem with this email is why is he sending it? He's saying nothing. It's like if I think I put one together. Hang on. Where is it? So what kind of email is that? It's what's the purpose of the email? He didn't say he had it or anything. Yeah. It's like if I emailed you, cultist. I'm like, sup, cultist. So I assume you've heard of that writer, H.P. Lovecraft? He's written stories about Cthulhu and the King in Yellow. Talk to you in the morning. That's the point of that email.
And then I reply back, it's check your privileges, sir. Lovecraft did not write any stories about the King in Yellow.
Oh,
it's
really?
actually Robert W. Chambers, one of his idols, or one of his
Was he?
inspirations. Yeah, it was actually one.
All
Of
right,
his
we're getting on a tangent.
Yes, we are.
Regardless,
Sorry, people who don't like us when we go on tangents. We're going on a tangent.
Regardless, the email's stupid because he doesn't say he has it. He's not saying like, "Hi, hacker man, you know that Haunted Spyro game? I have it. I need to talk to you about it." He's saying, "Do you know about it? Okay."
Yeah.
Do you know about it and how the first opening sequence is like this? And the other thing, oh yeah, it's clearly that's what you know about this because that's...
Yeah, and like, oh god, here it comes, yeah.
Yeah, all that has to be changed is the end for the end. Instead of, "All right, man, talk to you in the morning," just say, "Well, I have it. I've played it and beaten it. I'll call you in the morning. We need to talk."
Yeah.
That fixes it.
Yeah.
That one little line.
Yeah, because basically it's like, yeah, the intro is great, and by telling you this stuff, it proves that I played it, because only...
Even though everyone knows it.
Yeah, so it's just, like, this part should have been skimmed down a little bit, or like it's a little bit more... In this instance, it should be show, not tell, because it should be tell, not show, because you've already shown us this content earlier, so we already know that's what you're going to say. So,
Also, before we move on with more email, the first email, it says, the email to hackerman@.com, subject to the Haunted Spyro game, from spyrofearer@.net. I feel like there should be redacteds in there, like stars, and in the reply, he does use that,
yes,
but it's not in the first one.
I know.
It's weird.
Yeah, don't even get me started.
Alright, move on then.
Yes, Mikey?
Nothing?
Okay, you're like, wait. Actually, I have heard of the Haunted Spyro game. In fact, I once had it, and I was the first victim.
What?
So my restructuring is, in fact, I have heard of this Haunted Spyro game, as I was actually the first victim.
It's double actually, isn't it?
No, there's actually no actually, like, no...
As you answer me.
Actually, no, there's no actually.
Actually, there's no actually.
Actually!
Yeah.
Yeah, no, there's no, actually. There's no second one.
Okay, fine.
Just one. I think it might be like maybe like a double entendre or like a double thing with in fact and actually maybe because it's like they are.
Well, I mean, because you went actually. I have heard of the first Spyro game, and in fact, I was actually the first victim.
No, it was in fact I have heard of the.
Oh, okay, I missed that.
But the problem is, if he's the first victim, doesn't that mean that he's committed suicide?
No. One 15-year-old commuted suicide.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But nothing else is said about other people doing that? So victim isn't necessarily you're dead.
It just means that you're like...
You saw the game, you're now the victim.
Exactly, yeah.
You can't unsee the game.
Or he's emailing a ghost.
Yes.
Well, he's a ghost now, so he can email ghosts as well.
Exactly.
That's why, when he went on the internet, it was all weird and different, because he's using the ghost internet now.
Yep, clearly.
That makes sense. Mm-hmm. Not really. Go on.
No. I'll explain the haunted game in more detail. It was like you told me, the backwards speech, the blood, the jump scares, the same bullshit you've been saying the entire fucking game. Like, the same thing you've been repeating the entire fucking story. But I know more. So sorry, I kind of like started like adding onto that. But yeah, basically he keeps adding like the same, he keeps putting in the same like content. Like keeps copy and pasting his description of the game and stuff like that. Padding.
Wait. Is this a copy pastaception going on?
My God.
No.
Yeah, it is.
Where it keeps copying and pasting within the same story?
Just copy and pasting in the copy paste.
Okay, maybe
story.
yes.
Yeah. You did it.
Mm-hmm. Also, outside of just removing this entire fucking part and just having I know things about the Spyro game, and let me explain it to you, because it's just fluff, like we said. Mm-hmm. I will say that I would go back and say that backwards was misspelled. Because it's backwards, as in like back, like backyard, and words, as in like words, as in you're speaking words, not words as in moving like backwards.
Well, but They are backwards because they're
words that
They
are
are, but that's not a thing, Mikey, and you know that.
But it is now.
No, you're wrong. You're wrong, and I fucking hate you.
I know you do.
I can't stay mad at you guys. I can stay mad at this fucking story, though.
Yeah, that's fair.
All right, moving on to the next. Moving on to the penultimate sentence here. The game was predicted when it was the year 2 million BC. It was 1987, and Spyro the Dragon and Spyro: A New Beginning just came out, but there was one that everyone was curious about. I'm sorry. What? Let's break that down. The game was prophesized 2 million years ago. It was 1987.
Okay.
And Spyro the Dragon or Spyro: A New Beginning just came out, but there was one thing, or there's one that everyone was curious about.
So here's the thing.
No, here's the thing. I know that 1987 is not 2 million years old, or 2 million BC. I know that's not what they're trying to get across. But 1987 is also not 34 years ago.
No.
And Spyro the Dragon or Spyro: A New Beginning, they are not the same game.
Mm-hmm.
I can't, guys. I just can't. Holy shit.
To be completely honest, when I read that line, I stopped editing for grammar completely. I have nothing else.
I did too, but then I was like, no!
Because it's like, how do you make this right? I can't make it more gooder.
You know what? This is why I was just restructuring what was given to me and not trying to fix it, because at this point I realized this has got to be a troll pasta or an intentional crappy pasta.
Yeah.
There's no other fucking reason.
Yeah, to have something that's blatantly false.
Yeah.
Just takes down the immersions.
And I did actually, I did stop at a point. I was like, no, I think I'm good. I'm just going to stop doing revisions. No, review cultist. No. What is in your name? Review. We're going to sit down and review through this entire fucking creepypasta, all 2 pages of it, and we're going to like it.
Are you?
I'm apparently a masochist, so yes.
Okay, fair.
Yeah. All right. Moving on to the next sentence. It was only $5. Sorry. It was only $5, and that's cheap. But the cashier said it's best not to get the game, as within a week you'll have your fate. So my restructuring is, first off, cheap was if you had an S, it's just gonna be sheep. In the way it's spelled. It's CHEAP is the proper spelling. But structuring wise, it was only $5, and that was cheap even back then. But the cashier said it's best not to. But the cashier said it's best not to get the game. He claimed within a week I'd meet a terrible fate. Not to steal from a better video game, but or a video game I'm familiar with, but
yeah, how dare you?
Yeah,
no, redo that.
I'd meet with a
badness.
I'd meet a bad end.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, but that's my restructuring of that sentence.
But okay,
$5.
I'm really curious where he bought this. That the cashier was just like, "That's a haunted game. You want?
You know what?
$5. You want
Even
it?"
in the '90s, I remember getting video games and stuff like that from hawk shops for $5. So it could have been that.
Yeah, but someone strips selling something that they know is haunted and they believe that it's haunted.
Yeah, but that's also horror movie 101. Handful of horror movies. That's basically how the person gets the haunted item or monster is that they go to a hawk shop or a weird mystery shop, and the guy just sells them. It's like the Simpsons thing. It's like, but the toy's cast. But that's bad. But it comes with a free Frogat. That's good. But the Frogat is also cast. That's bad.
Okay, so what it is it's actually a blockbuster.
Okay.
So he's like, oh, you get this other one.
Are you sure Blockbuster was around 1987? Thought that was just more than a 90s thing. Spoilers, I know it's not just a 90s thing.
Anyway, so what it doesn't say in the fine print is that they're actually rental games that you want to return after a week, even though you haven't rented it.
Yeah, that's... Mikey, you... Gamer, come back! Come back! Come back! And Gamer, I need you! And he's gone. He's gone. All right. But Mikey, seriously, sometimes you ruin horror stories. Sometimes you make them better. You have like kind of a 50-50 split on the show. And I respect that. Well done. I can actually really appreciate the bullshit you just did. Because it is possible. He's back!
How can you make things work? How?
He doesn't have the time! Dude, he does this... He literally has done this, like, as many times as he's ruined a horror story for me, he's made a bad horror story better.
I know. I just don't know how.
It's just that demon mind of his.
It's cosmic.
Yes. I'll see like the Game Grumps reference. I was like, Gamer, I need you.
Yes.
All right, moving right along. But I thought it was a joke, so I bought the Spyro game, and on the back it said these two words, Spyro.exe. But that's not all. Everything was messed up. Sparks, the dragonfly, was crying.
Pause for a minute. His name is actually named like that.
No, it's spelled Sparkx in the story. It's actually Sparx in the because I looked that one up.
Oh, okay.
Also, dragonfly is actually a compound word.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. So anyway,
Continue from Sparks.
Sparks, yeah. Sparks the dragonfly was crying, and it sounded so real. I thought these two words about the game fucked up. Those aren't what? That's not a coherent sentence. So this is my restructuring. I thought it was a joke, so I bought the game. So I bought the Spyro game. When I brought it home, actually, I thought it was a joke, so I bought the Spyro game. Done. No. When I brought it home, the back read these two words, Spyro.exe. That wasn't the weirdest thing, however. Everything was messed up. Sparks the dragonfly was crying, and it sounded so damn real. It was a very fucked up experience. Sorry, I actually typoed my own self. I added, I was a very fucked up experience. Yes, you were.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was a very fucked up experience. That feels a little bit more coherent to like how the story, like compared to what we read in the OG story. Any other comments? Are we good? Moving on?
Yeah.
Moving on to the next one. So he gave it to the next victim, which he meant on Twitter. In 1987.
I mean, this could have been later.
Which, again,
it's not necessarily still 87.
Close to when Spyro first launched.
Doesn't matter. Even in a fucked up world where Spyro: A New Beginning came out in 87 and he bought it in 87.
Yeah.
He could hold on to that game until Twitter is released, and then give it to someone then.
I suppose, but put that in your fucking story. Like, give some kind of hint to it in your story on that.
Like many years later.
I'm not even asking for a blatant thing. I just want a fucking hint. Because as it reads right now, it seems like half the shit I'm getting like fumbling over is because like they're saying one thing, and then the next sentence is something that completely counteracts the continuity that was mentioned in the previous sentence. And so it makes it kind of silly. Like, again, like the guy got it in 87. They got really scared and then like sold and then like traded it to somebody on Twitter. It's like there's no in between there. It's just
you could fix it by just saying many years later, I couldn't stand having it anymore, so I traded it to someone on Twitter.
Or we kept it hidden for so long, and then eventually my buddy or my brother met somebody on Twitter. He traded it. That makes more sense. It's just moving on to the next sentence. Which the trade of the nightmare continued, and now it's yours. Which the trading, of the nightmare continued, and now it's yours. I kind of restructured it this way. The nightmare continued to exchange hands, and now it's yours.
Yes.
Next sentence. All right, all I did was read the email, but not reply, because it was time to figure out the truth. So, it needs two things here. A better dividing tool than changing the font. Like, because this is the first sentence after the email stuff. And the email is done in big blocky, big letters. And then this one and the rest of the story is done in super small letters compared to any of the other previous.
Yeah, it looks ridiculous on my phone.
Yeah, it looks utterly ridiculous. That's the first thing. Perhaps even a horizontal line, like divide like sections up, like some pasta authors do.
He did that in between the intro and the starting of the email stuff.
Yeah, so keep doing that.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. And remove that damn all right at the beginning.
All right.
All right.
Oh, now we know who Nair is.
Yeah, it's Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So McConaughey is moving on to the next part. By beating Cinder.
Do it.
By beating Cinder will give the truth of the haunt. After beating Cinder, something really bad happened. I don't even know if that's like that sounds more just like a generic American accent. I'm not even sure.
Matthew McConaughey.
I'm not sure if that's actually McConaughey, but
it's probably not.
Like it's really hard. Yeah, anyways. Moving on to so my restructuring of that is like I beat Cinder in the game and discovered the terrible truth behind the game. Well, I added game, the same thing.
Is Cinder the final boss? I don't remember.
I don't know.
Let's say he's the final boss as of now. Then just I beat the final boss, Cinder,
and discovered the terrible truth behind the game. Bam. Restructured finally. Yeah. Do you guys have anything else to go? Because I have final thought, but my final thought is actually I use the last paragraph as like an opener to my final thought. So, do you guys have anything anything else to add to the actual thought, grammar, and inquisitions?
Well, one is a continuation of a previous question as to why, in regards to even back then, why give it to others instead of just destroying it?
Yeah.
Because gives it to someone on Twitter because reasons.
Well, maybe it can't be destroyed. Like, but again,
I say it.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
or
show us that.
Bury it in Antarctica. Just leave it there. You know. Yeah,
and let some poor schmucks from Norway find it like uncovered in the ice, and then like they start getting like mutated by.
Hell yeah!
Exactly. Just make a thing rip off the thing entirely.
Mm-hmm. They'd be fine with that. And like, I'm really curious what classifies you as a victim. Like, does it have?
It doesn't kill you. Well, sometimes it doesn't kill you, but it also doesn't seem to ruin. It doesn't seem to have ruined Hackerman's life.
No, anyone's life. No. It's just like that was creepy.
That's
here.
Spooky.
You want to try it?
Yeah, that's pretty spooky right there.
It's equivalent to me playing Resident Evil and being like, "This is fun and spooky." Here, Cultist, you want to play it?
It's a cursed game.
Totally cursed.
Yeah.
I figured it out.
Okay.
So, being a victim means that you can only watch Spyro videos on YouTube.
Oh no! It's like too many cooks. It just kind of infects your brain, like with the with the earworm. Mm-hmm. Except that it's not also your eye worm. Mm-hmm. You just start seeing. He's actually not seeing. It's actually not that the algorithm's working. He's just seeing Spyro everywhere.
Oh, so he could be clicking on a cat video.
Yeah, so
but in his mind,
that's why he saw it in his mind. He's been Basilisk hacked. And,
so it is all mind.
Yeah, and to explain what a Basilisk hack is to people, it was termed, I think, from Eclipse Phase, the RPG, but I think it's been other word. Basically, it's when something, like, basically a virus gets put into your brain through like a visual or audio medium. Like basically a virus's data is transmitted into the human brain and fucks it over, basically.
Yeah. So yeah, maybe.
Yeah. So are we moving on to final thoughts then?
I wonder if the reason that Hackerman's return email is so crazy is because of
He's actually just
of Matthew McConaughey's mindfuckery
Yeah.
right now.
yeah.
Like, he could just be reading a completely coherent email, but it comes through as like, back in the olden times of 2 million BC, this is prophesized. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, move on.
All right. So on to final thoughts. Let's open up my final thoughts with a quote, the last paragraph of the story. The first victim wasn't Hackerman, but another dude named...
The dude.
I'm the dude playing the dude disguised as the dude.
Yeah.
Sorry. But another dude named John, who made the series, and when he finished, he suffered from depression and major anxiety. So he chose suicide, and his soul haunted the game for the past 36 years. After the game was beat and the credits rolled, the console exploded, and his soul was released. Welp, that was a thing. A very confusing and silly thing. This has got to be a parody pasta / crappy pasta.
Yeah.
Intentionally made this bad. Because if not, I'm sorry. It certainly requires some revision. A lot of revisions to get even close to legible. As we have made an example of in this entire episode. Like,
I feel like the title card has to be like us stringing up like Spyro with his head like half off, like making an example of him in a public place.
just like crucifying
Yeah,
him.
exactly.
All right, yeah, so that's going to be the title card.
Cool.
Not recommending this story. Though, maybe this says something about me. I kind of want to play Legend of Spyro: A New Beginning after reading this. Even if it doesn't have anything spooky to say, this kind of got me into like the vibe of like wanting to actually like hunt down that game and play it. Just because it's kind of who I am.
Yeah.
So yeah, like if this was intentional, like I don't like. Yeah, you need a lot of work on your writing. If this is a parody, I mean, it's a very hilarious parody. It's so bad, like it's kind of Room levels of bad. To a degree. But it is also very illegible.
Yeah.
The other thing is, thank you, thank you for the person that emailed us this. I don't want to say their names just because...
They might not want it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm always weird about that. Like, I don't know if, like, that's kosher or not. But, yes, thank you for suggesting this story. I'm sorry we can't find the other two ones. But yeah, it was good to get back. I also realized we haven't really done a creepypasta since basically like Elf on a Shelf. I think for like 2 years ago.
Elf on the Shelf. I was there for that one. I think I would have remembered that with a title like that.
But we intentionally like went to creepypasta.com or trollpasta.com and looked out for like one of those. So like it is kind of a thing. Like I do know for a fact that people do create crappy pastas intentionally to be bad, or troll pastas to be intentionally bad because like they do it for the lulz kind of stuff. So it was as painful as it was to reread this and then like edit all this stuff. It was fun to get back into like the sillier side of creepypasta genre, like the super silly side of creepypasta genre. But yeah, that's my final thought. I can't recommend this even as a parody of creepypasta just because of how like illegible it is. And I mean, like, even if that's part of the point, that's not an excuse for bad writing.
Because any like
make it coherent, but make it like nonsensical. That's fine, but don't make it incoherent. Because like half of our issues here were like mostly grammar inquisitions because I could not properly read the sentences.
Yeah.
So
if you're trying to make it silly, if you can't portray the silliness, then the reader can't get that from you.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's just confusing.
So, Mikey, what's your final thoughts on the story? I hate you, review cultist. I hope you die.
Oh, but before I go into my final thoughts, I have a conjunction junction.
Wow, okay. Hang on. Proceed. Wait. And now for Mikey's Conjunction Junction. Take it away, buddy.
It started off fine, and so he was told to get out, while crying blood with his slowly decaying living corpse. So he dropped the bloody dragon egg off at an island. So we thought, oh God, no, the legend is true. So we beat about 3 levels, and I said, I have to go home. It was like you told me, the backward speech, the blood, the jump scares, and the Spyro hatchling. But I know more. But that's not all. Everything was messed up. Sparks, the dragonfly, was crying, and it sounded so real. So he gave it to the next victim, which he met on Twitter.
How is that more, that actually is, more succinct than my rundown earlier.
Kind of. From the start, it almost sounded like Narratiman was the one that was, bleeding and rotting away.
Yes.
And by the end, you give sparks away.
Yeah.
It's weird.
That's actually the Let's Play. That's the transcription of the Let's Play of the game. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I'm not recommending this.
Weird.
How dare you?
Shocker.
Yeah.
But no, honestly, I completely agree.
Yeah. I mean, A Legend of Spyro New Beginning was released in 2006, so it's even newer than...
Oh, yeah, that's not, I was just going on, broad strokes of, the franchise itself started back in the... Because I was trying to find, how early, I know it was, I remember seeing this in the late 90s.
Because it's a new beginning. It's not the first one.
I know.
Yeah.
Also, this really comes off, as I was reading it, and, it's oh, Twitter back in 1987, or, it was a long time ago, back in 1982 or something like that. And I was like, this is a 10 or 12-year-old writing the story, isn't it? Somebody who was, born in, 98.
Yeah, it's born into Twitter.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of what it felt like, because, this is somebody who, never didn't have Twitter in their life, since they Twitter is older than they are, isn't it?
Yeah,
kind of thing. I was just they're not and they're not not millennials, because we're technically millennials still, but yeah, it's just this is Generation Z or Z, isn't it? Or the ones that come after this is from that generation that comes after us, isn't it?
Probably.
This is my weird, this is a thing. Also, this is 3 years old, this story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's been sitting on that red creepypasta festering with comments.
Bleeding and rotting.
Yeah, exactly. There's a few comments that are just they're basically they kind of just voice the same thing we just went.
The very first comment.
Yeah.
This was so painful to read.
Yeah.
At which the author actually returned with, "What do you mean?"
Oh.
Yeah, I won't go into that. So you done, Mikey, or?
Yes.
Cool.
Hence why I was apologizing if this is actually not intended to be a parody. I know he could be like, "What do you mean?" Troll face.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah, it's that kind of thing, right? I hope in my heart of hearts that this is a parody or a troll pasta, because if it is real and the person buddy, you gotta do some fixing on your writing.
But that's part of the reason that you would post shit online is essentially, here's something I wrote, I'm going to put it out there and see what people say, and then I can learn
see if somebody posts it on a podcast where they're dissecting critically.
3 years later, when I'm probably not paying attention to it. Yeah.
We're putting that behind me, and now it's being brought up again. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, pretty much. It's uncovering. It's picking a scab. It's that was healed.
Exactly.
But yeah. So before we even started reading this, the title. So piggybacking off of a quote-unquote successful video game creepypasta.
Hang on. Yeah.
I said quote-unquote.
Successful is the wrong term.
Well-known.
infamous.
Yeah, there you go. That's better.
Because, like, yeah, it's more infamous than well known or successful. Yeah.
But because it was an EXE, I was right from the get go. I'm like, is this by the same guy? But I mean, one is Sonic's by JC the Hyena, and this is not.
Yeah.
But people go by different
That's
titles.
true.
So,
They do go by different monikers.
but I also don't remember Sonic EXE being written like this. So
No, Sonic.exe was they jump into like the hill zone, and it's like all like dark and depressing, and then you're playing as the end of each. You can choose like between Robotnik's, Tails, Knuckles, and Sonic is basically just like flying around the thing like as if he was Supersonic.
yeah,
And basically just killing you. And then you go down to like a dungeon-y place.
yeah, it's very different.
Yeah.
But I mean, the writing style itself was more coherent and all that.
Vaguely, I remember. It's been a while.
Yeah,
It's been a while since I've read that creepypasta. Sorry, the McConaughey thing. I'll go back.
Oh, okay, fair. So after the title, where I was like, okay, bringing down my expectations a bit,
Yeah.
then I read the warning about the creepypasta being based off of Spyro. Don't read it if you don't want your childhood ruined. Wow, so you're really patting yourself on the back right at the gate that this can either be a fair warning, like this is actually a creepypasta.
I'm never going to look
going
at
direct,
Spyro the same way again.
or it's just derailing the hype train before it leaves the station.
Yup.
Which do you think it was? Moving on. As everyone stares at me silently.
Even the audience is just like,
Really?
they're just staring at their devices where they're listening to this.
And then any other notes I have are essentially like every time something weird happens, it keeps going. Like, it started off fine, this happened, but whatever, moving on. Every single time that something creepy is brought up, it's immediately ruined, which brings the characters out of it. Why should I be into it, you know? It's just the same thing keeps happening over and over and over again.
Yeah.
I'm just bringing up some notes that I forgot to bring up.
Sure.
When the 20 minutes of darkness happens, and then the game crashes, and then 4 seconds later it switches back on, I'm assuming, well, it's on a console. I'm going with the Xbox, because that's the one I know, the 360.
I'm pretty sure it was on the 360.
Yeah. I'm just saying, it was on 360, it was on GameCube, and it was on PS2.
Yeah.
I'm just saying I'm going with 360 because that's the one I know the best.
Also, would it be on PS2 or PS3?
I don't know. Doesn't matter.
PS2 and GameCube are same gen.
And Xbox 360 is the gen above that one.
Is it?
Yeah, because
Xbox 360 released earlier than the other
That
consoles.
is true, yeah.
Either way, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
When a game crashes, you go back to the main screen of your console, where you would pick a game to launch.
Yeah.
But it boots back up 4 seconds later into the game itself?
Yep.
Unless it's like... That's why in my rewrite of that section, I went like, the screen went black, and it started whirring, and then, like, all of a sudden it just started back up. So, is it trying to say that the game crashed back to the main menu, and then, during all that 20 minutes of darkness, if it actually had to be 20 minutes or not, it was, like, doing shit to the console and downloading stuff on the console, so it crashed the game, and then it launched, like, a hidden executable file on the disc to like start up a new game which is already loaded.
Yeah.
And it just immediately went. I don't know. It's confusing. And I think it's all my actual notes. So overall, I don't know. So like the ending itself it got me too because he's saying that for 36 years people have played this haunted game. And no one's beaten it.
And then he beat it.
Yeah.
And the game
And
exploded.
set the spirit free.
Because
And also destroyed his console in the process.
Yep. I'm just surprised for 36 years no one's ever freaking beaten it.
That's true.
It's weird.
Well, because they nope out after the intro, because that's the most memorable part.
Because the rest of the game is just a normal game.
Yep.
Alright, it is, actually. But because the rest of it's a normal game, you figure someone would be like, well, it's not being creepy anymore, and I wanted to play Spyro, so I'm playing Spyro.
Yeah.
Just beat the game. Wait, no, there's negative levels. There was
Yeah,
weird
they go
stuff.
in like negative 40, like level 40.
Yeah.
Like,
And again, like, those would be something that you could put in your creepypasta. Completely different levels.
Yeah,
instead of
it's
just
you
It's just
mention
saying,
it, but
it's
that's
just saying, oh, we played levels. I'm not going to tell you what the levels were like, but
Yeah.
which I mean, yeah, like it's almost as bad as like going step by step and explaining a previous existing level in a game.
I mean,
It's
if
like-
you do that, it does paint the picture for someone who doesn't know Spyro.
Yeah.
But it would be kind of unnecessary to go into detail doing that for someone who does know it.
Yeah.
So it's a weird line. Regardless, hard to read. 2 million BC.
The prophecy
1987.
that was 2 million BC.
1987. Internet and Twitter. It has to be some sort of a troll pasta, as you say. As a troll pasta, though, I don't even know if it really serves a purpose.
I will give it. It was humorous. Like I was like laughing at how bad it was. So it's getting room points. I give it 3 out of 5 Tommy Wiseau's.
Oh, okay. I see. I'm not going to recommend it, though.
Yeah, obviously.
Like, Sonic.exe is probably better.
For a review on Sonic.exe, please go to that episode. Feature me. Boop.
Episode 69.
All right, thank you. So, that was this week's episode. If you like what you heard, or if you didn't, leave us a comment in the comment section below where this gets posted, whether it be on Kiwi6, Facebook, YouTube, or Tumblr. You can also leave us emails at aldenterigamortis@gmail.com. That's aldenterigamortis@gmail.com. Where you can also leave us suggestions for other creepypastas that gets discussed on the show. Preferably, give us a link to the story as well, so we know where we're going. We know like where
How to find it.
how to find it, and where we're going. Because like. Again, I had to do some searching to find this one, and then the other two I couldn't even find a proper written version of.
Yeah.
So,
If anyone knows any video game creepypastas that can rival The Princess and
we
everything
might
else.
have one coming, a one or two coming up, because I've actually been doing some searching for a gamer.
Okay, I appreciate that.
And I found one on a top 5 scary video game creepypasta list that I was not aware of, but apparently is fairly popular.
Okay.
So we'll see in the next couple of episodes. I also have a few other ones that I just kind of browsed, and I went through like some of the archive, like some of the wiki sites and archives.
I think you're looking for perused.
Perused, yes.
Yes.
And looked up, and I found one or two that seemed. I just kind of did a quick glance, and that was about it. Mm-hmm. I think the next one we're doing is to Hell and Back, and it's a World of Warcraft one.
Okay.
So we'll see how that goes. But you can also contact us on Twitter. Mikey is at the E stands for Evil. Gamer in Yellow is at the Gamer in Yellow without the W because they took his last character. Or whatever we're doing with that shtick in now.
Gamer in Yellow without the W because my name's too long.
Exactly. And you can reach me at Review Cultist. If you'd like to help support the show, you can go become a patron. Go to Patreon and select the backer tier you'd like to support us at. We have $2, $5 tier with special episodes, extra content, early access, and access to our Discord channel. Because we're testing the waters on the Discord stuff to see how that do. And so yeah, you can just go there. And to our patrons that are already helping support the show, thank you guys immensely, because as always, you're helping keep the hosting bills at bay. Very much appreciate it. And to the listeners and the authors of these stories, thank you guys immensely, because without you, we wouldn't really have much of a show, both listenership or stories. So, thank you. Until next time, I have been your host, Review Cultist.
I am Mikey, the E stands for Evil.
And I'm the Gamer in Yellow.
This has been Al Dente Rigamortis. Sleep well. There we go.
Yep, it's working.
Yeah.
The red light is on.
Sweet. Red light, wait. It means so many different things depending on what you're doing.
We're not in the district of red light.
We're not driving.
I wasn't even thinking that. I was thinking traffic.
Yeah, we're not driving a car quickly towards an intersection.
In the audio system, red means go. Red means go, and everyone else shut the fuck up.
Okay.
No, I mean outside of the studio.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Thought I'd get an easy out of this.
You wish.
Yeah, I do actually.
I know, so do I. Alright. 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 Alright.